A couple of weeks ago we went with the Aprilia Tuono V4 on road for a test, and after the road test I wanted so much to bring this bike on track. So here we are on our home track, Motor Park Romania, and together with the Tuono we bought the RSV4 1000, the liter bike. So it's a special bike because Aprilia launched it this year. It has the liter engine, so you can race it in every championship that you want to. The price is pretty close for these two bikes, but the performance is so different. Tuono got a new muffler, an Akrapovic unit, so the power should be even better. It produces around 175 HP to the rear wheel, so that's pretty insane. This RSV4 RR, it's a liter superbike with a power output of 200 HP. If you like our work, you can support us through the support page that we built for you guys. You'll find the description and details in the link below. I want to start with the tires and the setup that I've made for both bikes, because for both the Tuono and RSV I had the Diablo Supercorsa SP's front and rear tire, which are pretty amazing while riding on a hot day. They stick to the asphalt like insane. The same stopping power provided by Brembo, same calipers, same brake discs, same master cylinder, so the performance is pretty much the same. What's different about these two bikes? The fairing obviously, and the power output for the RSV is bigger. But let's start with the suspension, because this is the most important aspect for today. While riding on track you need a good suspension. You need to be able to cope with the turn, to feel the bike, to get the feeling that you need to ride faster while cornering. So this is very important. With this all-in suspension, electronically adjustable, I kind of felt some bumps on the track, but I've set it up a few times back and forth. I managed to find a compilation that went well. With the normal one, the analog suspension on the RSV, I felt a lot better, which made me think that this usual suspension that RSV got fitted with, it's feeling very good, and I kind of want to push it a bit harder because I'm feeling confident. So this is very important while riding on track, to have a suspension that gives you the confidence that you need to go faster. You might say I'm a bit crazy because I've went with the Tuono on a fast track and I don't have fairings, but I tucked in very well behind this small windshield and managed to reach speeds of over 260 kilometers an hour, which is pretty cool for a naked bike. Meanwhile, on the RSV, everything it's feeling quite natural. As on a superbike, you have that large windshield and you can get very well underneath that front fairing in order to reach faster speeds in the straight line. But overall, the ergonomy of these two bikes, it's so different. Yeah, it's the naked versus the superbike, but with the naked approach I felt very confident, and it felt fun, so much fun that I wanted to ride it all day, because this large handlebar allows me to change direction very fast, and kind of makes the Tuono feel a bit more easy to steer than the RSV. Yeah, it's not what you want to hear from me, but the RSV feels harder to steer than any other superbike that I've ridden so far. The handlebars are positioned very low and at a very steep angle, and for me it's not working. I kind of need some room because I'm taller. At my height I need to fit in between the tank and the handlebars. While on Tuono, it was so much fun because I was trying to get some cover underneath the small windshield, but while changing direction at the slower turns, it felt very good. Also, the foot pegs are pretty much the same, so you won't feel that much of a difference. While riding with this tank, it offers you a lot of grip for your upper hand in order to position yourself like on a superbike. So yeah, so much fun to ride, although it's a naked. On the RSV, as I said, I would change the rear sets, I would change the clip-ons, I would put a larger windshield so I could get tucked in a lot better and well protected at higher speeds. So this for me needs some changes in order to allow me to ride it as fast as I can do it, because I know that this bike is meant to be ridden very fast. The V4 power plant sounds like insane. Every time you push this bike, a large roar will come from the exhaust. Meanwhile, the power output feels a bit more manageable on the Tuono because it has less revs and it feels kind of punchier in the mid-range. So for track use, for slower turns, the Tuono feels quite fun and natural. Meanwhile, the RSV needs to be revved up very hard. I've used the track mode because I have all the electronics that I could wish for. I have the auto blipper, the traction control, the slide control, the electronic suspension for the Tuono, pit limiter, launch control, everything that you can think about. I've set up the anti-wheelie to 1 and then I've cut it off because I wanted to do some wheelies. I did everything I wanted to with these two bikes, but the RSV feels very powerful, but I still need some time with it in order to feel the bike a bit more and get a better knowledge of it. While riding on track, things are different and I have to know my gears. While riding with the Tuono, everything was fun and easy. Riding with the RSV, things get a bit harsh because I needed to build my corner exit speed while finding the right gear for it. So this is different. Yeah, it has a lot of power and you need to adapt to the requirements of the bikes. As I said before, Brembo calipers and the Brembo braking system for both bikes, but I still don't feel like on a track bike I should put some better brake pads, because these ones, the stock ones that come with the bikes, they feel kind of lazy and you don't have that bite when you want to squeeze the lever harder at the end of the straight. So far you can manage to ride them, but for confidence I would fit on some new brake pads, some racing ones. Maybe the problem will be solved. Getting back to the RSV4 RR, this bike, it's so insane. Yeah, it has all the technology inspired by MotoGP. You can play with the frame, you can play with the angles, you can move the engine up, down, left, right. You can do everything that you can wish with this bike, but you have to get some knowledge first. I would love to have one of these for racing, but in my opinion I would change the first thing that will get off my bike. It's the exhaust, because I need a racing exhaust, a proper unit. Also, together with the exhaust, I would change the clip-ons, I would change the foot pegs. So let's put it like this. These are not very expensive changes that I have to do for my bike. Close to $3,000, I would put it like this, and my super bike, my RSV4 RR, will be a complete race machine that I can compete with and even win races. First of all, you needed track fairings and a larger windshield, but other than that, you only have to take off the weight from the fairings and the headlight and what other stuff that you don't need while racing. Fit on the carbon fiber or normal one, the racing fairings, and other words, everything goes on from there. What I like the most is that this V4 power plant doesn't feel that large. It doesn't feel like a Ducati, which requires a lot more experience than the RSV4 RR in order to ride it on track. It's friendly, it's easy to use, and if you get used to the power response and you manage to make this bike work with you and understand that very well by riding on track, because it's very important to be able to ride it very high on the rev range in order to get all the juice out from this power plant, it will become a winner definitely. So yeah, in my opinion, it has a lot of potential to become a good race bike and to help you win races. And now for the finale, I have to choose which one is my favorite, which one I would buy for the same amount of money. If I wanted to ride on track and ride it on streets, also get with my friends on twisties, I would definitely buy the Tuono because it answers all the riders' needs for everyday use and some track days from time to time. Otherwise, if you think about riding on track, yeah, definitely the Aprilia RSV4 RR will be my answer for you, because this bike with some changes can become a track winner.